it's snowing a lot. We probably have like 30, 20 to 30 centimeters. Winter is here, hopefully. I hope so. Today we have some snow here, and tomorrow I don't know. So carpe diem. We must pick the right day when the right day is here. Okay, you can't wait. These conditions. So in this series of videos I'm doing, I talk about non-technical topics, but still related to the profession of a developer. And today, the topic I want to talk about is dogs. Why dogs? And specifically, I want to talk about dogs in the context of being a remote developer. Okay. So I am a remote developer. I've been working remotely since 11 years now. And if there is something I learned over the years is that dogs are really helpful. Why? So when you are working alone in your house, perhaps staying, I don't know, hours and hours, or even a couple of days without seeing anyone, like it gets lonely. Okay, it gets very lonely at times. So I can talk about my experience. Okay, before having dogs, I remember feeling lonely at times. You know, you are 10 hours at the desk in your home, there is no one out there. Maybe your partner is working away, or you don't have a partner or something, and you don't live with your family, so there are no other human beings around. So to see someone, you either go I don't know, social events or situations like bars or at the gym or something, or even at the office. Okay, my advice does not apply to people working in an office. So I never work in an office, so I don't have much advice. A few years ago, I got this nice pet here, this little wolf, and it was 7-8 years ago, something like that. And of course my dog changed my life, and it made remote working easier. Okay, this is something I noticed, and something I think about sometimes, because like the dog is a social animal. And for example, I have a dedicated office, and like I have one dog, here's the other dog, which came 1 year after this one, and they are really social animals. So when I'm working at my desk, they are always sleeping behind it or under it, and sometimes they tell me, oh, in their own way, they tell me, I'm tired of staying in the house, let's go outside. And they jump on the desk and start messing with a keyboard or something. And like, it's useful for them and it's useful for me, because they kind of force me to work, even though we have a garden, something. They are not forced to stay in the apartment, but they want to go outside of the garden sometimes to meet other dogs, to take a walk in some new place. But when this happens, I just go, okay? I just go with them, and maybe I listen to podcasts. Maybe I don't listen to a podcast. Maybe I might be listening to music or listening to nothing. Just listen to nature. If I am in nature in the woods, I really like listening to nature sounds. See? It's snowing really, really a lot now. Okay, so this is one of the perks of having a dog, is that they force you to go outside, but not just that, they also force you to take um, time away from the screen. For example, um, they might want to play just a little, okay? So they might want to um, do some fun things like playing with the ball a little bit. But the huskies are strange because I throw the ball and they watch it go, right, like this. See the ball, nice, okay, and then I have to go and pick it up, okay. So as you can see from this video, I also like to do some kind of sports, winter sports especially. You see I have those huskies which are notorious for their enjoyment of snow, right? When it starts to snow, they go kind of crazy, and I have to take them on the mountain to do something, to run a little bit, because they get crazy. In a good way. In a good way. So during the winter, it's also the time where I do most of my sporting activities, which are essential as a remote developer, okay? As a remote developer, you can't just expect to have good health doing nothing, because some days you just wake up and go to the keyboard and stay there until the evening. But some days you really have to compensate that. It's really bad for your health. And also I have some back pains, and yeah, it really helps doing something. So dogs are useful to force you to take some time off the keyboard and off the screen too. So this is good for your eyes, because like it's really bad for your eyes staring at the keyboard or at the screen all day. And it's also good for your hands. I don't know how many of you might have experienced RSI, which is remote stress injury pains. I did. I don't think I will ever heal from that, but some years ago I was really in a worse situation than I am now. Like constant pain in the arms due to typing and bad posture, and stress also stress. And sport also relieves stress. So in my case, dogs are also helpful for doing sports. As you can see, I'm skiing. I didn't show you. I'm skiing those little skis here. So skiing is great because you are outside in the elements, and I really like cold weather. And you're out in nature, no one is there, it's science, you can really think. The benefit of having a dog is that they force you to go outside, and you can really get deep focus into you're thinking when you are outside in nature like this. Now, of course, I'm making a video, so not much into that, but I will have a few hours today, of at least a couple hours of time today to think about some things that are going on in my work. So another benefit of having a dog for remote workers is that they kind of force you to have a little chit chat with complete strangers. And this happens if you bring your dog like to dog park, or even just if you meet someone with their dog and like dogs are playing, chit chat something. I met a lot of people, made lots of like shallow friendships, and other like more deep friendships with other people that have dogs. I have like really cool friends that I will never have met without dogs, because they are like a common interest. So it's like if you play tennis and you have all tennis playing friends. Those were three nice perks of having dogs. Also, dogs are awesome, and they are just so fun, okay? And they make your day happier overall. So that's it. I don't want to like convince anyone to get a dog, because having a dog is not for everyone, and by that I don't mean that you need to be a snowflake to be the owner of the dog. I mean that you have to dedicate a lot of time to them, okay? Because they are really special, really special souls, and they deserve a lot of time from you and attention, okay? So if you are, for example, working in an office and you go in the morning away from home, and then you come back in the evening, I mean, don't get a dog, okay? But anyway, because they get lonely if they are alone. So me being a remote worker is a perk for my dogs, a very nice perk. Okay, so this applies also to, I'm not a cat person, but I think that this applies also to cats. I mean, you don't have to bring your cat outside for a walk. I haven't seen many people do that, so it's kind of different. But they are also, I have many friends with cats, and they are very cute and everything. And I'm sure that having a cat, upon your desk is very nice. It's very nice. I mean, I can't have this pet on my desk, otherwise it would destroy all the setup I have. But yeah. So I'm not trying to convince you to get a dog. That would be weird. I'm just telling you why having a dog works for me. Okay, and having a dog is also like, you might just dislike dogs. Okay, those are my first 2 dogs ever. Never had any dog before. So it worked for me, but it might not work for you. Most dogs are a huge distraction, huge. But I'm happy because I know I can do probably 4 to 5 hours of deep focused work, where I might lock the door because the dog it's kind of distracting. But like, the dog is probably sleeping. If the dog is sleeping behind me or near the desk, it's also so relaxing. they are so cute, okay? And that's it. I mean, so this video was about dogs. Why they work for remote developers. So they are a nice companion, a nice friend to have. They kind of force you to step outside and also meet some random people, which is always nice. And they are like, they are nice. So another way that dogs help us, especially as people working with technology, is staying in touch with nature. This is something I think it's pretty important. I'm also very attached to nature in general. As a person, also before, like I live in a rural place with mountains, and sometimes I was about to fall. There's a lot of snow here. So, for example, now I just met two dogs, two free of any leash, or there wasn't even the owner. Okay, and I had to take my dogs with me, like with one arm one dog, the other arm another dog, and try to avoid like a fight or something. And it happens sometimes, but this like is like pure nature contact. Okay, sometimes you walk in the wood or in the park or something, and they notice everything, like squirrels. There might be a deer, which you wouldn't ever notice that, or there is a fox or a little mouse, and they know everything. Okay, they can see everything, or feel, or hear, or with the nose. So you gain a lot of contact back with nature, because, and I said, especially for us developers, we are always working with electronics, bits, and inside buildings, and it's easy to lose like the big picture. And the big picture is that we are living in this world here, which is full of plants and animals and elements like snow, water, fire. And if we stay inside the building and type at our computer, it's easy to forget about that, except maybe from the picture on the desktop. Yeah. So the dogs are not, of course, going to solve civilization issues, but they are helpful on the individual basis. Like for me, they are helpful because they force me to go outside. It's snowing, it's raining. It makes no difference. You have to go outside. So, as they say, I think in Scandinavia or something, it's there is no bad weather. There is only bad gear, bad clothes. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video now because I'm getting pretty tired, as you can hear. I've been working for 2 hours now in this kind of snow. It's not easy. But tomorrow I will be, like on this evening, I will be destroyed on the sofa because I'm not used to make this kind of activity right now, because this is something I only do during the winter. Long walks in the snow, of course, unless you live in I don't know, Antarctica or something. Okay, see you in the next video.